Hello dear students, welcome to the lecture 14 of Responsive Web Design with ASP.NET 5 and MVC Pattern and Bootstrap 5 course. Today, this is our last tutorial article related to this ASP.MVC tutorial.com. It is about working with databases, and we already have worked with database. Here they are using a custom framework, a third-party framework to handle database operations, and their example is not asynchronous. It is doing full postback. So I plan to implement their example with our entity framework and then make it as asynchronous with Ajax queries. So our example will be a more advanced version. So let's start as usual with cloning our latest project code here. Okay, lecture 14. Hopefully I plan to show you Bootstrap related things in the next week. It will be the 15th video. Normally this is the last week of our semester, but I will record an extra video for you. Okay. So here it is talking about database engine. They have made example with SQL Server Express Local DB. We can also use that, or you can use MS-SQL Server as well. It doesn't matter. Everything would work exactly same with entity framework. Only the connection string would be different. So there is a to-do list, and it's a very simple thing. As an example, so they generate, let's see their table. They compose a table such as this one. So it has ID as primary key, it has add date, date time, it has title, and it has bit is done. Okay. So we will compose the same table in our database. Let's rename this as lecture 14. And also let's open our SQL Management Studio. Okay, so it is var character 200 and others are like this. Okay, it is taking a little bit of time. So they have used a third-party framework Dapper. It is explained here. We will use entity framework with entity framework tool that we have added to our application. Okay, so this is our database, and let's add a new table as to-do list. Okay, so it will have ID of to-do thing. It will be primary key. I won't make it okay, I will make it identity. Yeah, we don't need to manually set ID. So let's make it identity here. And it has, okay, add date. It will be date time. We want allow nulls. And for add date, we can set a default time. Or we can manually pick the date time. So I think I will set it as UTC time. Okay, system UTC date time, like this. It won't accept if it is not valid. So then we have title of the to-do list and var character 200. and it won't be null. And then we have is done. So is done has default 0. Okay, this is a bit, and by default it will be 0. Okay, so we have default value for add date and is done, and ID is auto increment, and we have title. Let's save it as table to do list. Okay, so our datetime was valid. You can also verify it with select UTC datetime like this. It will return UTC datetime. Okay, okay, so the naming didn't go well. So let's just restart it. Okay, we have composed our table. Then we will auto-generate the related classes. Okay, there is a problem since the renaming didn't go well. It is not a problem. Let's just clone it again. Okay, it is not a problem. I will delete it later. Okay, so version 2. I will rename that folder later actually. Okay. Okay, let's move to new. Okay, so okay, let's start adding with our lecture 14 controller, view, and model. Okay, we will have to wait. Okay, they are getting opened. Let's close everything from our previous lectures and wait for Visual Studio to be fully loaded. Okay, okay, it looks like pretty much. Okay, there are still background tasks. Okay, let's start with adding our lecture 14 folder. Okay. First, let's add its default folder, lecture 14. Let's add index view of lecture 14. Okay. Then let's add controller of lecture 14. Okay, lecture 14 controller. All right. Form as a model, I will also generate it in a moment. But before that, I will rename this to lecture 14. Let's rename this too. Okay, so first let's generate our EV code. EV is EV Core Power Tools Reverse Engineer. It will generate the code of our new class. Then we will inherit it to compose our model if it is necessary, but it won't be necessary probably. So you see, I am adding new to-do list as well. I am including connection string 2. Okay, this is the connection string here. And let's see where it is generated. Okay, here the TBL to-do list. So you see, this is our database table. However, I am going to add some customization to this class in lecture 14 model. Okay. What kind of customization, if you wonder, let me show you. So here, let's add model. Okay, class lecture 14. Okay, so this class will inherit TBL to-do list like this. Therefore, all of the items will be available, and simply we will add some requirement, such as how we're gonna do that is, okay, let's check it out. Okay, we have ID features, and how can we add customization such as this? Okay, I think I will have other values, or yeah, okay. So we can we override it? Let's try. Prop int ID. So okay, so it will hide the inherited ID. Use the new keyword if hiding was intended here. So hide base member, replace ID, hide base member, and okay, so this will be this will be required. Okay. Oh, this won't be required because this is automatic. Okay, I don't need to do that. I don't also need to date time as well. I just need to overwrite title. So I will overwrite it with new. Actually, it will hide the previous title. It is as public string. Okay, so it is this one. Yeah. So title must contain at least 2 characters, and title must contain at least 200 characters. And I will hide it like this. But if I hide it, what happens? Oh, new string, yeah. And then we have is done. Okay, I also don't need anything regarding to that. Okay, so lecture 14 model will be like this. We have updated our class. Okay, let's continue. Okay, then there is two list view model. Let's read it. So with view model, we will list whatever is available. Okay, so here in our controller, which is here we will load what is available inside the database, and to use that we will have using, okay, so where is our MVC context? Here. Okay, my context like this, new MVC context, and here let's define our lecture 14 model. What is the name of our lecture 14? Okay, it is just lecture 14, so let's add it to here using, okay, lecture 9 model start, yeah, just this, and lecture 14, my model, also need my name lecture 14, and we are going to have TVL to-do list. Okay, and one moment. Okay, so here we will select all the to-do list. Okay, and how we gonna do that is, I think it was like, okay, let's see what options we have. We have find. Okay, no find. All, no. I think we can get, and there is local, and there is take, array, lookup, union, zip. I think I will use, okay, this is selector, so I'm still not very comfortable with entity framework, so it will take a little bit of time to get me used to. Okay, so it is like this. So here my context.tbl to-do list. So this will return, okay, a set of all to-do lists, and then this is our model. Actually, this is a list of our model probably. Let me check it. Mm. Mm. Okay, probably I need to get it to a list like this. Okay, so our model actually is a single element, therefore I need to modify my model. How am I gonna do that? Is, I think I will have another class like this. Let me show you. So this is today this lecture 14, and to the item, and lecture 14 will have list of to do item. Yeah. To do item lst all to do items. Okay, like this. So it will contain to the item, and I need to cast this into my list. How am I gonna do that? Is it will be like this. Okay, lst to the items will be equal to to list, and I need to cast it. Yeah. How am I gonna cast this to the item? But it won't work that way, of course. To list and then select pr.pr. How can we cast it? Okay, so there is from okay, let me check. Maybe something like this. And we will call the cast here. Cast, no. It won't be supporting explicit casting. I think I can have a constructor as to the item here. So like this, public, okay, to the item. And in the constructor, we will have to the item title. Okay, so how can we achieve that? I have never done something like this before. So C# cast to child class from parent class. Yeah. Let's see. Okay, cast child object as parent. How do we do that? Okay, so there's person class, then there's customer class which inherits person and it has some extra type. And then there's employee. Okay, so here we have customer person, employee person. So the customer per person base per. So there is two kind of constructors. So this is a copy constructor. Maybe we can do that. Okay, something like this. Public to the so it will take like this. Okay, it says that no, it won't work. Okay, there is base dot title equal to this dot title in the constructor. And still we need to cast it to do our item. So this is rather an advanced topic. Maybe we can cast it like this. Here. Okay, what does it say? Add explicit cast. So list to the item to the list select PR to item PR. Yeah, let's see if it will work. I'm not sure. Then we will return index. Actually, it is like this: index view with our model, which will be this. And let's get back to our index. So here we will have our model as, let me see, lecture 9 models dot lecture 14. Okay, so I will add a debug here, and let's add some random value. Okay, so test 1. Okay, it is added, and let's run the application. Actually, I just got an idea. Okay, so lecture 14 dot index. Okay, it is triggered. Let's see what happens in our casting. Okay, unable to cast object type of select to type of, yeah. So our casting didn't work. What we need to do is we need to extend base class to convert it. And how can we do it? We need to write an extension. Something like this, yeah. Public static to do something like this. To do item. I will add this to global methods actually. Okay, here we have global controller. Where is our global methods here? And yeah, here I can write it as an extension. Okay, it has to be under some class though. So let's see, global methods, yeah. Public static to the item. Let's name it as convert child. Okay, let's also, or let's say convert to do, yeah. And this will take this tbl, okay, to-do list, my list. And what it is going to do is it will define a to-do class object as new to-do item, and simply I will just have a constructor as typing to-do list my list, and basically this will assign as my list title, this dot id equal to my list dot id, this dot is done is equal to my list dot is done, and this dot id title at date equal to my list dot at date. Yeah, and simply this will return okay this simply. Yeah, so this is an extension, and here when we select them, we will select them as we are to convert to do. Yeah, and then we will convert it to list. Okay, now it should work. Let's see. There could have been an easier way, but this will also work. So here to-do list. You see, I could modify this as well. However, whenever you refresh your database classes, this will get overridden. Therefore, you shouldn't make any changes here. Okay. Okay, so lecture 14 index. Okay, it is working, and we have our item here, as you can see. All right, let's also set this as a root. So currently it is opening, I think, lecture 10, if I remember correctly. Yeah, so it is opening lecture 10. I will start opening lecture 14 as default, like this. And let's check the lecture 10 if there is any other routing. Okay, no. We don't need lecture 10 anymore, by the way. So let's continue with the tutorial article. So we are having this right now in our format, and in the view it is something like this. Let's add this to our view. Okay, so it uses create update home form method. So our model dot I see we need to have a for each. So this is for adding, I think. Let's see there. Yeah, so this is adding part. Adding part is something like this. So in the adding part, it will be model.id. Okay. So in our model, for to be able to add, we need another instance. Let's go to our model, lecture 14 here, and we will have list to keep list of items from database, and we need an instance of to the item. Okay, public to the item, new to the task, this. Okay, so it doesn't have a default constructor, therefore I also need to set that, something like this. Yeah, okay, now it should work. Yeah, so model dot new to do task dot id, yeah, hidden for. We can also have display thing if we want, but this is hidden, therefore it won't be visible. And we have title, form control, okay. And we have ID. So if ID is bigger than 0, it will be update, otherwise it will be add. Okay, it is done. So basically this will call home controller create update. However, I will change it. So let's start with coding our add method. This will be HTTP post only, like this, and I will call it as update add or update insert. Yeah, and I will also add a root for it. So root will be something like this, lecture 14. Okay, and update insert, and let's give it a name so we can access it directly. Update insert new to do task. Okay, it will take our to do model, my model. Okay, here. Okay, we are setting ID, we are setting title. Actually, we are not setting ID, we are setting title only. Yeah, other things are default. And we will check if my model is valid. If model state is valid. If it is not valid, we will return. And then what we are going to do is simply return content. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Some unexpected error occurred. Please try again. If it is not valid, if it is valid, then we will check. Basically, we will just use update. Yeah. So to be able to use update, what we are going to do is, okay, we need to convert this into the base model. We can do it. My TBL to-do list. Okay, updated item will be equal to TBL to-do list. My model. I think this should work. Yeah. Then I will add this to context. Okay, there is add. However, if it is updated, will it work? Framework update item. No, this is not what I want. Set values. Okay, there is add or update, which is from entity framework. Okay, migrations. So basically, I will use that. For add or update, we need to add entity framework migrations. There is add. There is no add or update. Okay, so it doesn't automatically suggest us. And since we are using entity framework tools, we may not have entity migrations. Let's see, from browsing. Okay, no. Let's try this way and see if it is working or not. Okay. So basically, we will add as a new item. Okay, something like this. Then we will set its state modified. By the way, this will be TBL to-do list. Okay, it doesn't show. And okay, it doesn't support this in the entity framework core, obviously. Or maybe, yeah, okay, it is working. So there is entry state equal to entry state dot modified, and then we will call save changes. Okay, so this is for both update and delete. Currently this will be always add or add because we are not getting any ID. So first let's try this, and if it is working or not, let's see that. Then we will also work on the update as well. Okay, so yeah, it is like this. Test2 add. Okay, so it did go to home create update. We didn't fix the naming in our view. Let's fix that. Okay, we will just give route name, route values as, let's see. So there is HTML begin form, which takes, let's see. Actually, I will use classical thing, but let's see. HTML begin form. I can see the parameters that it takes. So okay, so there's form method, t model attributes. Okay, now I can see. Okay, form methods, route attributes, controller name, action name, yeah. So I need to have, where is the route attributes? Okay, I think I will use classical methods that we have used in our previous lecture. it is better approach. So in here we have this. Let's copy and paste it. So here, okay, and let's take our road name here. Then we have a hidden for. So input and let's see, ASP hidden for. Is this a valid? I don't know. Let's see. So there is ASP4 but ASP hidden for. Okay, so there is just type hidden, type, okay, hidden, yeah, and it will be for, okay, ID. Actually it should automatically get it. Doesn't get. This will be hidden, therefore no. Actually they are not being seen right now, even though we did add tag helpers. So where is the problem? Let's remove this. And okay, where is the problem? Okay, still the tag helpers is not visible. Okay, interesting. I don't see the tag helper. Okay, so the tag helpers are visible here, but not visible here. And why is that? Maybe let's close and okay, now visible, yeah. So type hidden, ASP4 ID, value is nothing. So ID is not visible. I have to set it like this, yeah. Okay, and okay, this will be a hidden, therefore. Okay, where is the error? One second. So this is the code that we did get, and then we have text box for, yeah, something like this. Leave to the title. We can also have a custom title. So let's also set that in our model, which is here and here. It will display. Okay, I think something like this. Enter task description. I think it will be as name. Let me find it. Yeah, name. I was remembering it correctly, which is in our controller. Here it will be name equal to enter task description. Okay, and let's close this. Here we have title label and we have ASV4. This will be an input. Okay, enter task title, and yeah, we have sent back. Okay, now it should work. We use it tag helpers, which is better than HTML4 in my opinion. Okay, so let's wait it to run. By the way, after our postback, what do we return? We return index my model, yeah. So with this way we can update as well. So let's enter a task title as test2, and okay, some unexpected error occurred, so it is not valid. I wonder why. So here our model, I think it is because ID is 0 and title is null, yeah. So we have some binding error, obviously. We have need to do task title and value is 0. Okay, where do we have a problem? So this is required, and interesting. Okay, so we have new task, new to do task, we have new list, and we are binding it, but it is not posted back. Title is null. Let's check the HTML form. Okay, update insert input type hidden. The ID field is required, but we didn't bind it. We bind it to 0 by default. And then we have task description, we have task title. So the task title is, let's see, where is the name? ID new to do task title, and the name is new to do task title. Okay, but it is not post bucket here. That is weird. To do item my model. I think I know, because we need to expect lecture 14, not my model. It will be lecture 14. Like this, and now it should work, yeah. So my model dot to the new to do task. Okay, so you see minor errors can cause a lot of problems and require a lot of time to figure out what is wrong. You have to be careful. All right, so let's test it. Okay, now test 2, and okay, so it says that ID has a temporary value while attempting to change the entity state to the modified. Okay, so it appears that since it is auto increment, how should we proceed? Okay, it says that increment idea. Let's see. Okay, looks like we need to find whether this exists. If it does not exist, then we need to add. If it exists, then we need to modify. And how can we do that? We can do it with reflection, copy. Did we code it here? Let me check it. Reflection method, copy. Log errors, refresh model. Okay, so okay. So we have update user method here. This will be basically same methodology. I think I will edit here, but I will use reflection to copy all values. How can we do it? Let me see. I think I have an idea. Let's say update add new task. It will take, what it is going to take is, let's close this. What it is going to take is to-do list item, new task, and it will select from to-do list where tr.id equal to new task.id. Okay, if it is not equal to null, then we will copy all the values. And how we gonna do that? Easily copy all items of class with reflection or serializable. Okay, so it is here. We will use generics. You see, this is the generic class, generic clone. It just serialize object and then return deserialized object. And if it is not null, what we are going to do is basically VR user will be equal to new task dot clone. Okay, clone is not available. Let me check it out. Yeah, it will be like this extension. Okay, it will return the serialized object. Yeah. So clone, and the cloning type will be trivial to-do list like this. Otherwise, we will just edit as a new task, and we will call save changes. Okay, so basically we will clone this object into this, and therefore it should update the changes I'm not sure what I'm expecting it to do. Basically, then we will call it here global methods dot update or delete new task. It will be taken from here. Okay, let's see what happens now. So if that ID exists, we will update it. If it doesn't exist, we will edit, and we are using cloning method to not set them one by one. You see, in our previous lecture we did set each value like this. However, now I am using clone, which should automatically set all of the values. Okay, test 2, and yeah, we have an error. What is the error? Cannot insert null value into column title. So the title is sent as null, and why? Let's see why. Maybe our casting didn't work. Okay. Okay, test 2. And let's see if the data is here. Okay, the data is not here. Yeah. Currently title is not set. You see there are two titles. One of them is from the base class and the other one is from the other class, but why it is not binded? Okay, name is new to do task title, and from our model we don't see it. I think I know the reason. Okay, maybe it is because we are setting a value here. Maybe I need to change it. But it doesn't make sense. It should work like this. Let's see. Lecture 13 car name, and here it is from lecture 9 models to do item. Not lecture 14 new to do task. Yeah, this is the class and this is the object. This is the method that are we using. Everything is looking correct, but when we post back, we have a problem. We have a problem and we need to find what is the problem. Why it is not getting post back. Maybe it is because the base class is base title is hidden. It shouldn't be that way, but I am not sure. We have a to-do item here, new to-do task. We have a title. It is looking like a correct name is new to do task title. ID is this one. But the title information is null. Why? Why it is null? Okay. This is the model it is using. Title is here. Let's try something else. Okay, let me check it. Oh, maybe I know the reason. Yeah, because it is not set and get. Okay, let me show you why it is not working. So this will be prop to the item, new to the task, get and set. It will be something like this. And I will just initialize it in the constructor. Okay, yeah, it will be like this. But it will be not initialized there. I also need to initialize it. So this won't work either. I need to have a constructor for lecture 14 like this, and I need to initialize it like this. Yeah, now it will work. This is now gettable and settable. You see, get and set makes a lot of difference when working with model binding. I am pretty sure now it will work. And we are initializing it here. Okay, test 2. Now I am pretty sure it will be here. Yeah. You see now it is returned into a property. It was a field before. Now I can see title. And okay, an oracle vitality inner exception. It says that cannot insert null into column value. And why? Okay, where user is null. Therefore, this is working. Okay, it says that it cannot insert null title. Oh. So this new task is still from type of parent class, I believe. It is not from the base class. You see there are two titles, and I think that is why it didn't work. Yeah, the original title is hidden, so this is not also type of. Okay, you see this is type of to-do item. It is not from TBL to-do list type. So when we are calling this method, let's find it. We need to explicitly convert it. Yeah. Child class to parent class. Yeah, how do we do it? I really need to have explicit casting. Yeah, I think we can use as operator, so this will be as like this. Yeah, now let's try. If it doesn't work, I still have an idea to cast it, but I am hoping that it will work. Okay, so this is still from to-do item type. It is not the type that we are looking for. You see, adding a new variable is causing a lot of problems. So we need to add an extension to our custom class such as that. How to do it? I think I have an idea. Let's add a method here as public fix title, public void, by the way, and it will set base dot title equal to this dot title. Yeah, and now I just need to call fix title here. New task. By the way, new task is not from base class here. Therefore, before we cast it, we need to call that method like here. Okay, new task fix title. Okay, now let's see. There's an extra work, but it should work, I think. Okay, now test 2. Yeah, it did work. We have no error. The URL change it. And now test 2. Now we should be able to update test 2 because currently its ID should be set as true 2. Let's see. No, it is set as 0 still. So it didn't load that. So test 3. Let's check it out. Yeah, test 3 is here as well. Okay, currently we are able to add new values, but we are currently not able to update them. We will also code that. Pause here. Okay, now that we can save, we can continue. Okay, so since our web app only has one view, there's no need for reusable layout. Okay, yeah. And now there is a for each loop to print what is on the screen, what's on the database to the screen. So it will be here. It uses a for each, and our model has this one as items. And here we will have item dot is done. Okay, and yeah, it should work. And then we have item dot id, title, yeah, and date. Okay, so what does this do is, you see it has a on-click window location href. This is the JavaScript method, and when we click on this checkbox, it will redirect page to home toggle is done. By the way, we have this as a root URL right now, but I will add another path to redirect. So let's make it as okay, is done, yeah. So we will redirect to lecture 14 is done, is done. And we are also going to take a parameter. So let's also put that optional parameter as task ID, and we will allow, okay, I will make it mandatory, and yeah, we will provide it like this. Okay, and then there is a checkbox. So for the checkbox, we are going to have home edit location, and this will open a new view to update it. Okay, so for update, let's see what can we do. We will use this in the update, and basically home edit will load this with a method. What I mean is that I will show you in a moment. So let's say change task status. So this will take an integer ID, task ID, and we won't have a model here, so it will be integer. Therefore what we are going to do is basically we will find the item as okay, task item, it will be equal to my context tbl to-do list, and then we will have find. So the find take keys values, and it is taking array of objects, so maybe we can just provide like this. Then I will get, okay, I think by default it returns okay, so if not found, it will return null. If we are task item not equal to null, okay, we will change is done as opposite of is done. like this, and then we will save the changes. I think this will become a tracked item, therefore I can just click save changes and it should be done. Okay, and then we will return index view, nothing else. But if you want to list items on the screen, then I need to initialize model and return it. Therefore, what I am going to do is I will have a private method here, private lecture 14. Okay, model to returning. Okay, init model. You see, lecture 14 is being a little bit not a good name for model. So it would be better to change its name, but it will take a lot of places to be changed right now. So I will just keep it, but you shouldn't give a model name like this. So this will return a model, and basically what it is going to do is it will return my model like this, and we will have lecture 14 model equal to init model. Okay, and then we are going to get model again. Okay, like this. Let's see here, and we will return it. Okay, I think it should work, but since this is a different URL, I think the URL of the page will change. If I want to not change the URL, I have to make a redirect. So perhaps a better approach would be making a redirect to the index page. Okay, we have done that in the previous lectures. So let's see, where did we do it? Okay, in lecture 14. No, I mean in lecture 13, no. In lecture 10, yeah, we have redirect to action. So it will redirect to action index. And let's see the behavior of the application. So here I will do it like this. Okay, so this will be our path. Lecture 14 is done task ID. Let's open our index here. So we will have a checkbox, and yeah, let's first test the checkbox and whether it is working or not. So currently all of my items is done is 0, false, which means okay, we have a problem somewhere. Okay, it says that we have two road name. Yeah, we didn't change the road name, therefore we have an error. Okay, let's say change is done. You see at runtime it is checking the road names and throws an error. Okay. Okay, so here are listed items. When I checkbox, it will become checked. Let's see. Yes. When I check it, you see it is doing a redirect, and yeah, it is working as expected. Let's see what happens in the network. So currently 101. I will change this one. So it went back with is done URL like this. Then what is the response? I think the response we got is directly like this. So no visible redirection. So this is the request. Why I can see the response here. Let's also check from the Internet Explorer. Actually, this is now named as H. Okay, so here console network. Okay, when I check it like this, it requests this and response. Yeah, so the response headers have location like this, and the status code is okay 302. 302 is, I think, redirection. Okay, HTTP code. Yeah, it means that found redirect status. So basically it is returning a redirection to the index page after going to this URL. Okay, and it is getting updated like this. So the user doesn't notice anything. It does a full postback and full reload. Currently it is not asynchronous, however it is working. And then let's continue. So we are writing items like this. I think okay, it composes a tr, but we don't have a beginning of the table, therefore we need to have table beginning like this. Yeah, and okay, so the next thing is edit. The edit will also load this page. However, we also need to display some information when we are editing. So let's have an h1 like this. Okay, so if new to do task, not new to do, yeah, new to do task, new, where is it? Okay, why it is not available? Okay, that, okay, not working. I think I need to use model parameters. Model dot new to do task dot id is not equal 0. Then I will type h1, and in there I will type id. Okay, task id. Okay, let's add a parenthesis like this. So the task ID will be this, like this, and task description, let's put it inside here. Task description will be like this. Okay, and then they can use this form to update the task. So the value here will be changing according to our task value. How can we make it change. We can make it as, let's see. Okay, we can write a value. Okay, model dot new task ID equal to 0. Then, okay, I think we can write something like this. Yeah. Okay, and like this. I think it will work, but I'm not sure. So if it is 0, add, okay, new task. If it is not 0, update selected task, or update the update currently displayed task. Yeah. Okay, and then we can also type task status if we want with h tag. You see, the design is totally up to you, but I am currently doing something simple. Task is done status, and here we'll get is done to string, so it will be true or false. Okay, so when will be this appear? It will appear when we go to the lecture 14 edit action. So let's code the edit action here. By the way, when we redirect the action, this time we need to keep an existing model. Let's see, what can we do? How can we do it? I think we do it in lecture 13 or lecture 10 controller. Yeah, we have done it with temp data. Okay. But was temp data for user specific or not? Okay, let's see. Okay, let's remember it. I can't remember. Okay, so it is user specific, so we can definitely use it. Okay, so basically in this edit action, edit task, edit task like this, edit task, what we are going to do is we will update the task and return back to that page. So let's see what to do. Actually, edit task will return that item, load and return that item so that it can be edited. So basically what it is going to do is we will define lecture 14 model like this, and this will be not here. We will find task item from task ID like here. If it is not null, we will assign my model dot new to do task equal to task item. By the way, this is from to-do list and this is from to-do task. Therefore, I need to use my method overloading here. Yeah. Okay, and then we will save that inside temp data, and we will load it back in redirection. I wonder if we can change the URL when returning data back. Actually, it is fine to have changed URL. Yeah, why we are wasting our time? So we will return view with this new model. Yeah, return view and index, and the model will be this one. Okay, let's test it. So the URL will be changed, but it is not a problem currently. Okay, this is edit. Oh, we have a problem with naming. Okay, here it will be edit task. Yeah, now it should work. Okay, you see now they are better formatted. So when I click on them, you see at the bottom of the browser there is lecture 14 edit task, and when I click test 2, task ID 5, task text description is test 2, task is done status true. Then I can enter a new task description, and I can update currently displayed task. So this was test 2 task, and when I click update, now it is updated, you see, and it has returned the updated task, and now I am able to see that, and the URL is now update insert. Okay, so it is working as expected. But normally you would have a navigation, therefore you would be able to return to the view, and let's return to the base. Okay, it was updated, but oh, the update looks like didn't work. Let's see why. So update insert, it is taking model. Okay, let's see why it didn't work. Okay, updated task test 2, and yeah, the model has arrived. So we have new task ID 5, title updated test 2. Okay, we did fix the title as new title. Yeah, then we go to the inside update task model. So here we will check with ID. Okay, let's see, we have ID, and VR user is not null. Okay, then we will overridden the values like this. Then we did save. Okay, so why it is not saved? Yeah. So our deep clone methodology didn't work for update. Maybe I need to add it to the here. Okay, we will figure it out why it is not working. So we do a new clone and then we add something like this. By the way, this should be named VR task, not VR user. So this becomes, I think, yeah, probably this is not tracked. So we need to use maybe find. Okay, find means find an entity with given primary key values. If entity with given primary key values is being tracked by context, it's real. Okay, now it is attached and being tracked. And so it will just take the new task ID to find. We don't need first or default. Okay, so I think now it will work, but I'm still not sure. So let's retry. First, let's add a new task and then try to update it. You see, based on depending which database handling classes, frameworks, libraries you are using, it changes how you handle the data. So let's add test 4 as a new task. Okay, it is not found. Edit, context, save changes. Okay, now task ID 7, description 4, yeah. When we return back. Okay, it is here. When we click it, it is here. Let's try. Okay, this was task 4. Let's update, try update as well. So we did clone it to like this. Yeah, and then we did save changes and let's check it out. Okay, it didn't save. So when we do clone, it is not getting updated back. So if we edit, then it will tell us that it exists. Therefore, we need a way to copy all the values, attributes. So this is returning a new item. Copy all of child class to parent class matching attributes. Okay, in C#. Yeah, this is property copying. So what is the proper way? So we have parent, child. Okay, this looks like a better option. Okay, so it uses a public class property copier. Let's add it to here. It is a public class, static class. It uses copy method, which takes parent and child. So this will be reference type because they are restricted as class. Here, this is from generics. It will take their properties, and if their property name and type are matching, it will set value. It will use set value. So the set value is coming from property info reflection. Okay, so let's try that instead of our method. So in here, instead of using clone, we will use copy. PropertyCopier dot copy. So PropertyCopier is expecting our classes. So the first one is parent. So the parent class will be TBL to-do list, and the child class will be to-do item, and it will take as VR task to the parent, and child will be new task. By the way, I will make this as to-do item. So let's also find where we are calling it. Oh, no, it can remain like that. So new task, and we have to do the casting like this, and okay, let's try this way and see if it is working or not. You see, I can manually set each attribute myself as well, but I'm trying a more generic version. So if I add more attributes to my class in future, I won't spend time to add them as well to this method. This is a more generic approach, more generalized approach, which is much better. Test 44, let's try. So you see, VR task has test 4, and to do new task has 44. When we copy all properties, now we are, okay, it didn't work. It didn't work. So let's get inside of this. So parent, here, parent properties ID, child properties, same. And then child properties, if they are equal, ID. Let's get here. Okay, properties ID, add date, title, yeah. So child property set value child is 44. Okay, so set value takes parent. So the property, child property, what is that? It is title, yeah. So it should set value like this. Okay, title is set to 44 in the child. I think the order is incorrect. So it will set value of parent to the child in this method. So we will change it as copy child to parent, and we will change the order as like this. Okay, copy child to parent. Now it should work, yeah. So the order was opposite, and I have modified it according to our application. Okay, and let's test. Okay, after copying, oh, object does not match. Since the order has changed, the object didn't match. Because it is using child property. I have to use parent property for this to work. Let's restart and try again. Okay. Okay. And after we copy, yeah, now the title is set, and after we saved, okay. An error could be updating and receiving an exception. So we have a problem with the date time. Why the date is set like this, and that is a problematic thing because the date is coming incorrect from here. So lecture 14. Okay, why we are having a date problem? I think let's try to debug from here. So in our model, the date is set correct. So I need to send back other data as well, yeah. So in here, when I do update, I only send back the ID as hidden. I also need to send back date as well. Otherwise it will be changed. So what can we do? How can we fix it? And if I add a new value, I also need to modify this method, which I don't want. So what can we do to prevent that? I think in update new task method, okay, it will be always like that. So yeah, so this will copy all parameters. Instead of that, we can just copy title. We have returned back to our beginning. Okay, this below method copies all attributes. So if you use this approach, you have to post back all attributes of item in a hidden form. So I will keep this method to make it work. So to be able to make it work, we need to post back add date, and we also need to post back. By the way, since this will be hidden, we don't need any of this and this, and we also need to post back is boolean like this. and now it will work. Alternatively, I could only set the title of the item, and I wouldn't be in need to postback all attributes. So this approach is not good right now for our application, but in order to show you that it is working, I will make an example like this. Okay, now updated. Let's check database. Yeah. So alternatively, we could also do something like this. Let me show you. Okay. This below form postbacks all of the attributes of model to update in database. And let's add another method to only update title. Postbacks only title and ID to update in database. So this time we will call task version 2. We don't need this anymore. And let's call to task version 2 as well in our controller, which is here. Okay, version 2, version 2, version 2. And it will use add update task version 2. Okay. Here. And I will copy and paste it. So this time we will just copy the title equal to new task dot title. Yeah, that's it, and nothing else. Okay, you can use both ways, but they have their some bad or good sides. When we run now, it should both ways should work. We should be also able to see hidden attributes. Okay, so it displays add task right now. And in add task they are same, but now it display update currently displayed task. And in the second method, we have only one hidden value, and in the first approach, we will have all attributes as hidden here. You see the value of datetime here, value is done here. So let's try this. Let's update it, and yes, it is updated. Okay. All right, so now that we can both save, and now the delete item, we will code that, and on delete we will ask for validation to are you sure. So here, let's see. Okay, here the delete. By the way, for checkbox we are using this onClick JavaScript function, and for delete we will use return confirm JavaScript function. For deleting, let's also compose a delete method. It also takes item ID simply. Okay, in lecture 14 controller, we will simply use delete. Okay, we can, yeah, we can use this. Okay, delete and task IT, delete task. Okay, let's say it has delete task. By the way, these two doesn't have to be same, so don't get confused. So if it is not null, how we gonna delete? Maybe this have delete. Okay, there is remove. So the remove takes entity, yeah. It will be like this. Then we will say changes, and then we can redirect to index page like this. Okay, let's see. By the way, this is still fully synchronous, and I am planning to also show you how to code them as asynchronous with jQuery. Also, someone asked me to show how to do a custom authentication system. I will also show you that how can you make a custom login system, authentication system. So let's try delete. So it says, are you sure? By the way, we can add more information regarding to that. How can we do it? We can do it as, are you sure to delete item description. Let's add it. So here we will add item dot title, and we can also add a quotation mark like this with escape character. Okay, our escape character didn't work well. Maybe double character. No. Anyway, we don't need that. Okay, are you sure to delete? Okay, title. Why it is being like this? Yeah, interesting. Autocomplete is not working. Okay. By the way, this may also break your alert message if title has some incorrect characters. I mean some characters that need to be encoded. So it may break your this delete confirm message. You have to be careful with that. Okay, are you sure to? Oh, it didn't ask. Because why it didn't work? Let's see. Return confirm, are you sure? The message is not printed as we want. This was supposed to be a single message, but it is not. So let's compose this as a string at somewhere. For example, var delete message equal to this. Okay, are you sure to delete item title plus, okay, like this. Okay, and then we need also encoding. Okay, How can we encode it? We need to escape. We need to escape it. Escape characters. Okay, there is HTML encode. There is JavaScript encode, HTTP utility. Let's check that out. Yeah, this looks like the case. So delete message will be equal to HTTP utility encode. Okay, so this is not existing in our library. Maybe we need to add it to our references. HTTP utility. Okay, not here. Maybe we need to add it to our Viv import file. Let's find it. And using HTTP utility dot. Okay, so what namespace it is under? ASP.NET MVC core HTTP missing. System web HTTP utility. Oh, let's try this. So this can also work. System web, not URL encode, but HTML encode. Maybe this can work. Oh, JavaScript encode is now here. So basically it is inside system web HTTP utility. And then we will use this as a conform message. Okay, let's try as this way. Oh, still not asking why. Confirm let message. Interesting. Oh, I know the reason. I know the reason. Because this is not parsed as a string. Now it will be. I may also be needed to use HTML raw, but let's test first. Okay, let's see. Okay, on click confirm. Are you sure to delete test? When I click, okay, I think I know the reason now. I also need to append this to the beginning and to the end. Now I am pretty sure it will work. By the way, delete is working. We are only not getting the JavaScript method getting executed. You see, they are all deleted. Yes, now asking you see, are you sure to delete test one? Okay. Let's also try some invalid character having titles such as some invalid chars. I wonder if this will work. Add a new task. It is added. Now let's return back to the root. Okay, it is something like this, as you see. And yeah, it is escaped. Yeah, it is working great. It is working, and now I can delete it. Yes. Okay, so let's take a note of what we have seen so far in this lecture. Okay, lecture 14, context. In lecture 14, okay, so okay, let's say how to fully postback model to update entity changes in the database, how to let's say how to postback necessary part of an entity to update changes in the database, how to do database operations such as insert, update, delete, select in MS-SQL database with using entity framework in ASP.NET Core 5 MVC application. Okay, how to clone object values, or let's say how to do a deep clone of an object with object instance with. Let's also note that JsonConvert, serialize and DeserializeObject, how to copy values of all, values of all properties of an object instance into another object with PropertyCopier custom class. Okay, properties fields, yeah, it should work. No, if you make fields, this wouldn't work actually, because this is based on properties. So if you make fields, it may not work. I'm not sure, so I won't write it. And okay, what else we have seen in lecture 14? Okay, now we can start working on making these as asynchronous. Okay, with jQuery currently whatever we do is all fully synchronous. For example, when I add task, you see it is doing a full postback and full refresh, you see like this. What I want to do is I want to add and remove with jQuery. So ASP.NET MVC jquery-ajax. Okay, let's find some examples related to that. Okay, Okay, there are some examples. Okay, if we want to work with Ajax, we need to work with HTML as well. I think we can work with partial views if we use Ajax. Okay, so let's plan what to do. You see, in our view here, we are iterating the model and printing it like this, right? However, if we do an Ajax post, we wouldn't be able to get this here. So first, we need to put this into a partial view and return that. I think I will start with another view and controller for this task. So let's add another index as Ajax at lecture 14 Ajax or Ajax index, or let's call it as, yeah, Ajax index is fine. And I'm also going to have methods for this Ajax index. So in our controller lecture 14, this is the default root and it returns index by default. So what we need to do is we need to have Ajax index here, and inside Ajax index we will call Ajax index, and we need to also set a root for this. So root, it will be like lecture 14 Ajax, yeah. And in Ajax index, let's open it. Okay, we will use partial view to parse it. So partial view inside a view. Okay. So the partial view will require our model. Therefore, we need to provide our model inside partial view. Okay, so let's add a partial view. Actually, instead of partial views, we can use, let's see, what was the better one? Okay. Okay, so there are 5 different ways. Difference between render action and action. Okay. Okay, partial view result employee, partial view employee. Okay, 1 moment. Layout, view, start section, view import. So it is like this. This is a pretty old article. I think I will use this. Yeah, I think I will give full path for not getting confused. So in here we are going to have a default view. There is no defining as partial, and I will name it as list items, or let's say list task items. Okay, and okay, in here we will call weightage or parcel asynchronous. It will be under views, lecture 14, and let's also name it as with regular convention like this. Okay, and in here we will get model of let's set the model lecture 9 models dot lecture 14, and okay, where is our regular page, which is here. I will move this to list item, and I will call it in our regular page as well as a partial view. Okay, so I will be able to use it both in Ajax and here. And I also need to provide the model as model like this. Okay, and yeah, so let's first try whether it is being printed on our regular root page or not. Then we can move to the asynchronous operations. You see that partial view is not dependent on the controller. It just takes model and then we can use it as we want. Okay, we have an error. Let's check our errors. Trivial error logs. And in here, what is our error? Oh, it is not logged here. Oh, it is logged here, yeah. This is the partial view and message. So it says that it is not found. Views lecture. Ah, I see. We have given incorrect folder name. Yeah, lecture 14. Let's restart. You see, logging errors is extremely convenient and efficient. From the errors, I just look at which error is new and I have found the error reason without debugging. We have coded this error logging system in our previous lectures, if you wonder that. Okay, we still have an error. Let's see. Okay, so where is the error? Partial core asynchronous object model. First, let's check the error message. It says that it wasn't found. Interesting. Oh, we also call this, we have fixed the incorrect place. We need to fix actually lecture 14 index HTML first. Yeah, sorry about that. Let's also delete existing logs. Okay, and let's see if any new error comes or not. Okay, so it is very well working. Let's add some test one, add new task. Okay, it is added. Let's return back. Yeah, working. Okay, so let's also test our new Ajax page, which is lecture 14, Ajax. Let's add to the bookmark so we can quickly access it. And yeah, it is also, as you see, it is also printed. And what am I going to do is I am going to add a form method that will add a new task but with Ajax query. Okay, so I started MVC form into Ajax. Okay, so let's see if there is an easier way. So we have using Ajax begin form, new Ajax options. Okay, so it uses using Ajax begin form. New Ajax options, update target ID. So what is this? This example is pretty incomplete, but I think I have an idea what is it about. Okay, let's see. So there is Ajax begin form, and then we write our regular form. Now, very nice. It turns that into Ajax, I think. Okay, so what is this here? Let's read from the top to get more idea. This is a pretty recent article.
Razor View Engine offers many UI controls, which eases the processing of many UI components when using an integration with the server side. Ajax Form Control is one of many UI controls, which is being offered by Razor View Engine. Today, I shall be demonstrating the usage of Razor View Engine Control, i.e. Ajax Form Control with ASP.NET MVC 5 platform. Following are some prerequisites before you proceed further in this tutorial.
Okay, we already have them.
You can download.
Okay, we don't need that. So there is layout file, which we don't need. We have our scripts. Before we need jquery-ajax-unobtrusive Ajax library into our project, and we need to edit the references like here, register bundle. Okay, there are a lot of things here. What is this? So this is our controller. Yeah, there is nothing fancy here. So let's install this and add it to the bundle thing inside our bundle. How we're gonna do that is, so bundle means it will turn that into a bundle, then we can link it in our View import or View, I think. Let's see. Where did they do it? Okay, so what is the name? It is jquery-ajax-unobtrusive. Unobtrusive, yeah. Let's add that to our project. We can also write, we can also code a API and use that as a postback and read values, but we can also use Ajax as well. I mean web service. Maybe we should use the web service for, or use the classical form. I think I will use the easier one. So let's add a jquery-unobtrusive. Okay, it is here, Microsoft jquery-unobtrusive Ajax. Let's edit and which dependencies it will add. So it has added unobtrusive jQuery 180. Okay. Then we need to bundle them. Let's see where they are added. Okay, I don't see any of them here. So they are added as probably bundles. Let's open the folder. We have properties, control, no. Inside www root, perhaps, no. This is what we use. Interesting, where it is added. Okay, so basically this is just Ajax begin form. I wonder if this is directly valid in our application. Okay, where is our Ajax index? Okay, it says it is not existing, so I will find this as a static and then add it instead of installing a NuGet package. Okay, let's find it. You see here it is adding their bundles, but instead of bundling I will just add it as a CDN. Let's find it. It's CDN. Where is it? Is okay, so you see jquery-ajax-unobtrusive, and there is a CDN link. Let's link it and add it to our Viv start file here. Okay, so I will edit the jQuery with src. Okay, and then okay, Ajax begin form is still not available. Okay, this is here. We need to add reference. I did add that reference, but I am still not seeing that. Why? Okay, we did add it to here. Interesting. Maybe save and load back. It said it is not existing. Let's see why. Oh, it says it is not supported in .NET Core. Instead, as the .NET Core team recommends data attributes. So we need to use data Ajax method. I see. Okay, so this is the correct article that we need to look for. Data-ajax, I see. For method post data-ajax true. Oh, it is this much easier then. Oh, nice. So let's copy and paste our form into here. And this time we will set data ajax true. Okay, why not working? Oh, I know the reason, because we didn't set the model. Model dot lecture 9 dot. Okay. And data ajax is set true. Okay, then there are other things. You see, data ajax confirm gets or sets the message to display in a confirmation window before the request is submitted. Data ajax method. So the data ajax method will be post like this. Let's also add that. And then we have data ajax mode. Okay, data ajax loading duration. Data ajax loading. I think we can also set this as data ajax loading, and it tells a gets or sets the ID attribute of an HTML element that is displayed while ajax is loading. So let's set an HTML element as ID. Okay, loading. Okay, loading now. And maybe style, visibility, hidden. Okay, let's set it here. Begin gets or send. Okay, gets or sets the name of JavaScript function to call immediately before the page is updated. Yes, so this will be executed before running complete. Okay, then there is Ajax complete, and then there is a function to call after page is successfully updated. And then there is gets or sets the ID of DOM element to update by using the response. I see. So this is the root of the form. What we need to do is we need to refresh this part. So how can we do it? After data ajax, it is not a good answer. Okay, there is URL action holiday calendar. So we can use URL action. Are there URL load? So URL action takes action string controller. What other options there are? Okay, URL action is a method of MVC routing, action content, string action, string controller, t values, protocol. Does it support routing? No. Okay, so for returning this, I need to have a controller action, which will be here, and it will return this list task items. Okay, and this is the path, so I need to provide it. Okay, URL action. So the first parameter is string action, action controller, and t model values. We don't have any t model values, therefore we will just provide action name. The action name will be Ajax index, and the controller will be lecture 14, and partial view result function. So this will be the result that we will get from it. And we also need to return partial view action result. Yeah, let's also fix that. Okay, and return partial view. Okay, and here we need to have an ID of something, not await. Give ID load, or let's say list of tasks. Of course, visibility won't be hidden, and we will get them inside here. Ajax index, so the ID will be this. Yeah, so this will run as soon as the page is loaded. And once it is completed, it should be here. Why I am doing it this way? So that I can replace it after doing Ajax postback without doing any full page postbacks. After this is completed, I will rerun this method actually. Yeah. So I need to give this method name. Okay, it is working. So let's give this method name as function load list of items. My JavaScript is also not very good actually. And we will call this method after here. Okay, let's run it again to see. it was a self-executing function. So this is a self-executing function here. And now I have encapsulated it inside a named function and calling that function here. And let's open it. Okay, it is working. When we refresh the page, we are seeing the Ajax query here, as you can see. Actually, this is not Ajax query. Oh, it is the Ajax query, yeah. This is going Ajax index. Okay. And then Ajax index. We need to open Ajax index. Yeah, this is not the page. Okay, how do we open the Ajax index? Yeah, we don't have that yet. Let's open Ajax index. Okay, index. And this will be Ajax listing. So let's fix it. So here, not this one. Okay, Ajax listing, and here let's path Ajax index. It will return Ajax index page, not a partial view but a full view, like this. And I won't return, I will return off. Let's see. So the Ajax index is taking a model. Yeah. Okay, it is fine. It's fine. We are taking model. Actually, I need to send a empty model for Ajax index, not a loaded model. Yeah. And okay, it is looking correct. So let's run the application to test. You know why I didn't send Ajax index a loaded model? Because we are not going to do any editing directly on that form. We will just do a postback. Therefore, an empty model is fine for us. Okay. I also need to send an empty model because we are doing a binding here, so that we can do adding new things, and it is also listed here. We also need to remove this because we won't be okay. We can keep that actually. It is fine. So let's run again. I'm not sure if our form data-ajax method is complete right now, because we are using ASP prod. I wonder if it is turned into data-ajax URL. Okay, this page is still working. This is Ajax, and let's open Ajax index. Yeah, it is also working, but our listing is not working right now. So let's see the console. Okay, we have an error. So we have error of Ajax listing. What is the error here? Okay, no such page is found as Ajax listing. Oh, because it's in lecture 14, yeah. You see, when you don't type the strings fully correct, it won't work. Oh, its root is different. Let's see if it works or not. If it doesn't work, I will just provide the root parameters. So URL action and controller. Yeah, okay, now working. So when I set the controller name and the action name, it is working. Okay, and let's check our form to see if it is asynchronous or not, Ajax or not. So we have form data-ajax method, data-ajax true, data-ajax loading action is lecture 14, update insert. Okay, once this is completed, we need to let's see when we call it, we have an error perhaps. Oh, they are added. Nice. Nice. It is working, but it is not getting refreshed because we didn't set the refresh method. So basically, when on completed, which is written here, we will call our JavaScript method. So let's add this as a comment to here. Okay, comment out. Yeah, like this. And then on complete, which is here, data success. Actually, this is data-ajax gets or sets the ID of DOM. Where is the JavaScript function? Data-ajax begin. Okay, here. When it is completed, so what I need to do is data-ajax-complete equal to, let's see, it doesn't show. Load list of items. I think it will work now. And let's also write at a console write line. Log, yeah. And console log is called, yeah. Let's run the application. So after postback, it should be called and it should update our list. We can also display confirmation. I also want to display loading now message, and so in order to check that, we need to add a delay to our controller, which is here. Yeah, if I put a breakpoint here, it will add a delay. So this is Ajax test. Okay, and do you see loading anywhere? No. Okay, loading is not visible anywhere. We will work on that, no problem. And yes, it is arrived. So let me show you. You will see that there is no page refresh or full postback. Okay, and nice working. Let's edit. Okay, the page didn't refresh or postback. Let's see, where is the query request? Okay, you see, this is called as a post, the update insert. It was an asynchronous posting, and then we have Ajax query request get. This was also an Ajax get, so there weren't any page changes or anything. I wonder if delete is also working. Okay, after delete, it did a full postback, so delete didn't work because on delete, let's see, because on delete we are actually doing a full redirection here. Delete is a redirection, not a Ajax right now, but this is working. Okay, so let's also turn delete into an Ajax as well. How can we do it? To be able to do that, we need to modify this. Data-ajax. I wonder if this will work. There are also callback functions. Here we are already doing data-ajax-complete callback function. And yeah, let's see if this is working. I have turned this into a data-ajax true, so that should be not a full postback but only an Ajax query. I didn't set any onComplete method right now. By the way, this will break our root method task list items because it is Ajax. And after this is done, it won't refresh our list, but it should prevent poll. Okay, and when we refresh, yes, it is working. Okay, so we can also add our this is super awesome, super easy as well. We can just add this to our href here on our list, so it will be fully it will be fully asynchronous, but let's just keep this. So list task items. Okay, let's name this as this below table is not fully asynchronous. Okay, and I will copy and paste it. Okay, this below table is fully asynchronous with Ajax, and so on delete data-ajax equal to true and data-ajax-complete, or what was it? Let's see. Okay, data-ajax-complete. Load list of items. So delete is now asynchronous, and then there is also edit item. However, edit item requires a new page to be opened, therefore it will remain as it is right now. We can also pop up a new window to edit there. The logic is same. And about loading item, I think I will also make it. Yeah, I will show you how to add a loading icon to your page as well. And then as a next thing, I will show you how to code a custom authentication system like a login. But I may keep it to the next lecture as well. Okay, so here when I delete this, it will get deleted and updated. You see now working. Yeah, fully asynchronous. And let's also add a loading icon. So loading icon give from somewhere. Let's see, from plot icons. I need something that I can take a link. Okay, such as this one. And okay, it doesn't provide a link. No provided link as well. Okay, I think, oh, too many. Okay, 1 second. Loading give CDN. Anyway, let's add it to our application instead of looking for a CDN. So let's add it to our www root. Here, images. Let's add an existing item. Okay, downloads, fidget spinner. And basically what we are going to do is we will set this inside our loading div. Here we have div id loading, style visibility like this. Image will be equal to images dot fidget spinner, fully automatic. And I also need to set the position, the position center of the screen. So position is like this. So this looks better. So let's add this as a styling pop-up class. Okay, so the class will be equal to this. You see it is visible hidden. And okay, data-ajax loading, how to use this as hidden example. No. Okay, so ASP.NET MVC. Why need to look for this example? I have something in my mind, but maybe there is an easier way. So why not look for easier way? So div loading. Where is the div loading? Coding. Okay, here. So div height will be set as default and will be changed dynamically. How? Oh, it says that write a CSS and scripts to hide and show loading image. Okay, I was going to do that, but this is not the way I was hoping for. I was hoping automatically showing it and hiding it. So data-ajax loading, actually I can do this as with two methods, show loading and then hide loading. So inside show loading function, show loading, what we are going to do is we will use jQuery to get loading class, loading div, and we will say show basically, and inside hide loading we will tell hide. So the height will hide. Okay, I think it changes the visibility. There is visibility and other thing. So before starting data-ajax then Okay, I think let's check this link again. There is before and after. Okay, mode. Yeah, here, begin. So we will use in begin. Okay, it is, I think, a JavaScript function, yeah. So loading. Then we have complete. Yeah, I think inside the complete we will just call hide loading. So it will be here. Yeah, now let's run. We also need to add some delay to be able to see loading, because it will be immediately completed right now. You see, what can you do is limitless, and we have only so much time in this course to teach you. The rest will be up to you. What you can do is limitless. Basically, actually this course should be in 2 semesters, not in a single semester. But we don't have that much time. Okay. Okay, let's see, delete. Let's add test. And now let's make some delay. So to make a delay, I will put a breakpoint here. And when I click, oh, I think I have seen it. But it is gone now. Interesting. Let's add a delay to here. Like this. And hide and show. Okay, hide and show. So what property it changes? So when we set hide and show, let me show you. Let me check it. When we set hide, okay, display, not visibility but display. That was something that was getting into my mind. So it will be display hidden, not visibility. Display none, otherwise it won't work. This is important. You need to set display none for jQuery to make it visible or hide it. Okay, so when I click delete, oh, this is not the correct page here. Okay, test. Now loading is loading, and after 3 seconds, it is gone. Okay, everything is working great. So let's also note this: how to convert a regular HTML into fully Ajax supporting HTML elements such as form. Okay, href, etc. with using, what do we use? We just use jquery-ajax-unobtrusive script file. Okay, how to update part of the page with Ajax asynchronously. Okay. I think Google will fix it for me. No, okay, it didn't fix. Okay, one. Okay, so here, sorry about that. Asynchronously, how to update part of a page Ajax by using, what do we use? We use here data-ajax not begin, actually complete method call. Okay, how to, okay, to display loading give it using data-ajax begin and data-ajax-complete method calls. Okay, I think this is all. I will show how to make a custom authentication login system, but it is already over 3 hours, so I will leave it to the next week, hopefully. And next week we are also starting to see Bootstrap. So end of lecture 14. Normally we should have been finished all of our lectures, but I will record as necessary as number of lecture videos so that you can learn the best from this course. Let's add this to our GitHub. Before doing that, I'm going to take a backup. Okay, then I will copy and paste it into my folder so that it can be restored back. Okay, lectures, lecture 14, version 2. Let's replace existing database backup. Okay, and let's go to the CD MVC. Okay. Oh, by the way, I was supposed to delete lecture 14. Anyway, it is not a problem. So it will get you confused. Okay, let's revert back to the previous commit. So you will also see that. Let me see, revert latest commit. Sorry about that, not C#. Git bash revert. Okay, git reset software. I need to use this. Its status. Okay, it says that they are new. So what we need to do is we will delete this. We will rename this. Okay, now when we check git status, okay, deleted files are still displayed, but anyway, not a problem. Okay, lecture 14 source code. Okay, git push origin master. And yeah, everything is here. I also see okay, it says that failed to push some ref, so we need to push origin master xx minus force, so it will force it. Okay, and let's check our GitHub repository to see it is working or not. Okay, update it now, and let's see the commits. Okay, lecture 14, source lecture. Lecture 13, we didn't push it, perhaps. Yeah, lecture 13 was not pushed, but now it is pushed to the repository, or it did re-push, I'm not sure. But it is here. Yeah, this is lecture 13. And this is lecture 14. Okay. Okay, end of lecture 14. Hopefully see you next week.